Twice in, 4 or 5 months. Huge crowds both times. But yeah, love to return to Atlantic City at some point. Yeah.
First, a question for Boots and then another for you, Eddie. Boots, compare and contrast the first fight to this fight tonight. And Eddie, we just saw him do definitely over 10,000, I don't know the official numbers, against a fighter that no one was calling for him to fight other than the IBF. Compare that against what you'd expect Mario Barrios or another titleist in this division to do against that level of opponent. I mean, that does speak to his star power in the city, does it not?
Yeah, I mean, last time was obviously the return of big-time boxing in Philadelphia, and tonight, like you said, we put a great card together. It was a great atmosphere. We know that unifications do great numbers here in the city, but at the same time, we've got to look at the options around. I mean, there's only 2 options, a unification or a big fight at 154. That's it.
What's more reasonable, do you think, Norman Jr. or Mario Barrios?
I think, look, we've got Stanionis is in a mandatory against Giasov, our guy. PBC have already messaged me saying, look, could we step aside Giasov and go straight into Stanionis? They're going to look at that performance and fancy their chances. Oscar De La Hoya's been tweeting, we're ready, Virgil Ortiz against Boots. I like that. But what they don't understand is when Boots is fighting those guys, it's all about trying to make it entertaining. The first fight was a stinker. I actually thought that was a good fight tonight. And by the way, I also think that guy beats most 147-pounders. I think he's a good fighter. But Boots is just trying to make it exciting, trying to get him out of there. He doesn't really have a lot of regard for what's coming back. He's getting hit too much because he's kind of not really even motivated. And against Barrios, against Stanionis, against Norman, it's going to be different. And against Ortiz, it's going to be different. And the performance has got to be different. Because he knows, and Bozy knows, that performance might not be good enough to beat one of those guys. But it will be a different performance from Boots against one of those guys. Don't worry about that. But now we've got a really big decision to make. I never like giving up world titles. But sometimes the time is right. And, we may get a substantial offer to fight Virgil Ortiz in Saudi Arabia. And then, from there, it's on Jaron and Bozy. That's it. And he'll get my advice, but these are the guys that will make the decision. But for me, I think it's only unification or Ortiz. That's it.
For Boots, what do you think of that February 22nd fight against Ortiz?
Huh?
What do you think of that February 22nd fight against Ortiz?
Like I always say, I want to fight the best. I don't try to fight these, bottom tier guys. When you fight the best, you're gonna be better.
Eddie, what you said you would have advice for him. What is your advice to take the much bigger fight?
Depends on the financial package. Depends on what we want to do long term. Depends if we don't want to return to 147. The reason that we fought Chukhadzhian tonight was because Boots had a desire to capture the other championships at 147. So we got to review that position. We've got to look at the option against Virgil Ortiz. We've got to look at the financial package for that fight as well. Because as well, don't forget, a win over someone like Virgil Ortiz on a Riyadh season card is going to take his profile to another level. So it's going to be very tempting. And by the way, it's a brilliant fight. A brilliant fight. I mean, Boots against Virgil Ortiz is one of the best fights out there to be made. Not just in the division, but in boxing. 2 tremendous young fighters.
JP Miranda, LatinoSports.com. Question for both of you. Throughout the fight, Ryan Garcia was tweeting away, saying he would knock out Boots. If you had your choice between Ryan Garcia at 147 and having to continue to make that weight, or going up to 154 to face off with Virgil Ortiz, what would your choice be?
That's for me. Oh. Let's bring him on. Come on. All he do is talk and tweet. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to make history, and I guarantee I'll put him out. For sure.
What do you think, Eddie?
I think, listen, Ryan Garcia is one of the biggest names in the sport. If he wants to fight at 147 against Boots, this is what I'm saying about the performance tonight. It was a good performance. It was nothing special. So people like Ryan Garcia going to be sitting at home doing whatever they're doing and getting brave. Getting brave? What do you mean? Wow. We're just watching the fight. What was you thinking? But they're going to get brave. Stanionis has been on.
Go ahead.
Oscar the Lawyer's been on.
Go ahead.
Ryan Garcia's been on. Good.
Well, Ryan's a major marquee.
Of course.
Yeah.
We've got, but listen,
They can
there's
go,
talk.
They can go
and
ahead and
there's,
fall for their beef if they want to.
the reality is, you know, if Ryan Garcia wants to come back from his ban in May or June or whenever he's going to come back and go straight into a fight with Boots Ennis, we would more than welcome that. You're only going to see the best of him against great fighters, and Ryan Garcia's a good fighter. You know, he's well out there, but he's a good fighter.